Hello and welcome. My name is Tanya. Welcome to my stretch video. I'll be guiding you through some gentle stretches, and the only thing that's absolutely required is to breathe. The rest of what I am cueing for is optional. You get to decide what works best for your body. I've got some props out here. I'll get to those in just a moment. But for now, find yourself into a comfortable position. What does that look like? Well, today I'll start in what's called easy pose. And for some of us with tight hips, easy pose may not be so easy. So let's get to that first prop. I have some yoga blocks, and I could prop my legs up just a smidgen. This makes it a little more comfortable for those of us with tight hips, or maybe we don't use the blocks, or maybe you don't have them. So sitting up nice and tall, if easy pose doesn't serve you, maybe send one leg long, whatever serves you best, and let's begin. Let's take a deep cleansing breath in through the nose, and as you exhale, take inventory. Is there any area of the body that you need to be a little bit more mindful with when we're moving? Now remember, we're going to feel, never force the stretch, and observe your own body without judgment. It's called a practice, not a perfect. So let's take that deep cleansing breath in again. As you exhale, take that right ear down to the shoulder, and we're just going to allow the weight of the head to dictate the intensity of the stretch. Medial scalene muscles of the neck is where we're going to begin. Take a breath. As we exhale, slowly float your chin down. And then here comes the left ear to the left shoulder. And let's pause. Take a moment. How did that serve you? We'll keep the belly drawn in. The heart is lifted the entire time. Another breath. As we exhale, float the chin down. Now the progression is to bring that right ear over to the right shoulder, and here comes the right fingertips to the top of the head. Now this is optional. It's the weight of the arm and gravity that enhances the stretch. Again, we're going to feel, never force the stretch. And when we find that area of tightness, I invite you to observe your own body without judgment. Take a breath. As you exhale, take that hand away from the head, float the chin down. Here comes the left ear over to the left shoulder, and pause. Here come the left fingertips to the top of the head. How is that feeling? Another breath here. As we exhale, hold, and breathe, let's take the hand away from the head, float the chin down, and here come both hands to the top of the head, and with your hands resting on the head, we'll bring the elbows forward, so pointing those elbows forward, and observe the beautiful release, posterior scalene muscles of the neck. So we're working in the cervical spine, the head, the neck, for starters, and we'll work our way down. When you're ready, take your hands away from the head and sitting up nice and tall, once again lifting that heart. Now, if you really find the stretch that you're really enjoying, feel free to linger on anything that I offer to you. Take another breath. As we exhale, release the arms out and all the way up overhead, moving on. Take a breath at the top. As you exhale, move the arms halfway down. Let's spin the thumbs down. Take a breath. As you exhale, bend at the elbows and reach the back of your hands into your lower back, if the body allows for that. Take a breath. As you exhale, lift your heart, draw your elbows back. How is this feeling? The shoulder blades are drawing together. Take another breath. As you exhale, draw the belly in, pull your shoulders forward, reach your elbows forward, and hold. Allow the head to hang heavy, that 10 to 11 pounds. The average weight of the head comes forward, and observe that beautiful opening sensation between your shoulder blades. Trapezius rhomboids. That's what I'm after next. Now let's Bring the body back up through center, grounding down. We'll reach the arms out and all the way up overhead. Take a breath at the top. Inhale here. As you exhale, move your arms halfway down. Your palms are facing me. Take a breath. As you exhale, pull the arms back. Chest expansion. Notice the contraction between the shoulder blades. Take another breath. As you exhale, hold and breathe. Right arm comes over the left and give yourself a lovely hug. Hug your favorite person in the world. Walk the fingertips back. Now this is layer one. Layer two. Take a breath here. As you exhale, hold and breathe. Let's see if we can release the forearms back to back or as close as you can get them there. Now, if your forearms don't look like mine, that's okay. That's all right. I'll take my left hand and anchor to the base of the right hand and the progression. Take a breath. As we exhale, option to lift the elbows up off the chest as long as we are in our challenge zone. The moment we come into discomfort, pause, modify, back off, and jump back in when you're ready. Take another breath. Hold for the exhale. Feel the traps, the rhomboids, the muscles between the shoulder blades being lengthened. Inhale here. As you exhale, float the elbows down. Give yourself that lovely hug. Open the arms nice and wide. Take a breath here. As you exhale, let's take that left arm over the top. So here's that first layer, walking the fingertips back. Maybe you pause right here. You don't go any further. If you're exploring, forearms releasing back to back or as close as you can get them. My right hand reaches for the base of the left. Is this sufficient? Take another breath. As you exhale, maybe we float the elbows up off the chest to a place where you feel a gentle opening sensation between those shoulder blades. Inhale here. Hold for your exhale. Inhale again. And exhale, float the elbows down. Give yourself that lovely hug. We're moving on. Let's open the arms nice and wide. Take a breath here. As we exhale, hold and breathe, let's take the hands to the top of the kneecaps. A breath here. As we exhale, reach your heart over toward the right knee and then slide over to the left. Inhale back and exhale. Nice and easy. Take your time and observe. Where are you feeling the stretching sensation most? Is it in the hip flexor? Maybe it's in the muscles of the lower back. Quadratus lumborum. The QL, the largest pair of abdominal muscles in the body, they flank either side of the lower torso. We're going to release that today. Take a breath. As you exhale, reverse that circular motion, nice and easy. And just observe how large in circumference you're able to make that circular motion. And then when you're ready, let's pause in our neutral position. Moving on. Anchor your right hand down to the mat. The left arm reaches out to the side. Sweep that arm forward and up, thumb up, inhale. Exhale, thumb spins down as you reach the arm back. Inhale, sweep the palm forward and up. And exhale, release that arm back and down. And observe, what is your range of motion today? If we have any rotator cuff issues, maybe we make the circumference of the circular motion a little bit smaller. Now when you're ready, take a breath. As you exhale with a soft elbow, I'll reach my left arm up, out, and over. Reaching the rib cage up to the ceiling. Make sure the sit bone does not pop up off the mat. Take a breath here. As you exhale, release. Left hand takes the mat. The right arm goes to work. Sweep the palm forward and up, thumb up. As you exhale, release, thumb goes down and back. Explore the range of motion. You'll notice that we enter the stretches slowly and mindfully. Let's see how the body's receiving this today. Now, from here, as we exhale with the soft bent left elbow, I'll reach my right arm up, out and over, releasing that rib cage up to the ceiling. Take a moment here. And release. Let's flow side to side. Anchor, inhale. As we exhale, release. Over to the side, over to that right side. Inhale up to center and exhale, release to the other side. Nice and easy. Take your time. Now one more time here. Inhale through center, exhale, release. And let's finish out this round. Inhale through center, exhale, release. Anchor that left hand down and the right arm sweeps over. Now moving on. Inhale through center as we exhale, release the right arm behind you. Take that left arm across the body. I'll anchor above the knee. Spine flexion, trunk rotation. So we look behind the body and explore how far can we turn the cervical spine, the head, the neck. We become that human washcloth. Draw the belly in to support that spine. And release. Arms up, overhead. Take a breath through center. As you exhale, release to the other side. My left arm anchors just behind my left hip. I'll hold here, and I'm using my right hand anchoring to the top of that left thigh, using it as leverage so I can turn my torso. And release, arms come up overhead, take a breath through center. As we exhale, release to the other side, anchor, and actively rotating. And release. Last time like this, inhale through center. As we exhale, release to the other side, nice and easy. How does this movement serve you today? Now let's release through center. Take a breath at the top. As you exhale, open those arms all the way out and down. Let's help the legs in, and we're going to shake out the legs, sending length through those legs. We'll flex the feet. And so just shaking out the legs, observing how are the hamstring muscles feeling today. Let's release the arms up, overhead. Take a breath at the top. As you exhale, release forward. Now, I'm looking beyond my feet. Think of hinging through the hips. And where do the hands anchor? Maybe they're behind the thighs. Maybe they're at the calves. Maybe we anchor the hands at the feet. Relax the head forward. Hold and breathe. Now, if you have your hands wrapped around your feet, I invite you to take a breath here. As you exhale, push the ball of the foot into the hands, the toes, into the seam of the wrist. And then observe, where are you feeling that stretching sensation most? Could it be in the hamstrings? Maybe it's in that quadratus lumborum area, that large pair of abdominal muscles. Now today, I definitely feel this stretch in the muscles of the upper back, the latissimus dorsi. Take a breath here. As you exhale, hold and breathe. Release. Moving on. Let's take the feet to a bound position. So, we'll take the feet together and the bottom of the feet touch, sitting up nice and tall. And I'll look beyond my feet. If I start to look down at my feet, the tendency is to round the shoulders in an effort to come forward to the feet. But if I look beyond the feet, about 2 feet in front of my feet, I can start to hinge forward. And I'm really getting an efficient stretch in my adductors, my inner thigh muscles. So, sitting up nice and tall, drawing that belly in, take a breath. As we exhale, I'll look at that little notch in the floor, and I'm encouraging my torso forward. I'll make a basket for my toes. Take a breath. As we exhale, releasing the heart forward. Now, maybe your heart comes way closer to your feet, but this is about as far as I'll go today. So we remember, it is a practice, not a perfect. Your body will evolve. Be patient with yourself. Never, never force the stretch. Take a breath here. As we exhale, hold, and breathe, let's back off. Now we're going to explore our straddle stretches. For straddle stretch, we'll come into a basic straddle and let us flex the feet. That helps to support the knee joint area. To adjust with your straddle stretch, this is an option. I'll take my hands behind my hips, lift, push, and I think I got about a 1/2 inch more. So let's lift that heart. Shoulders are down. I'll keep my feet flexed the entire time. Maybe you point your toes, whatever feels most comfortable for you. We just want to support the joint, the knee joint. Let's release the arms up overhead. Take a breath at the top. As you exhale, lower the arms halfway down. Take a breath. As you exhale, hold and breathe, glide over to that right side. Feel that generous opening sensation and that left quadratus lumborum. Inhale through center. Exhale, release to the other side, nice and easy. And at any time if you come into a cramp, stop. Take a moment and wait, and then come back in when you're ready. Inhale through center. As we exhale, hold and breathe one more time like this. Just gently releasing, preparing the torso for the progressive movements. Inhale through center. Exhale, release to the other side. Last time like this. Remember, we want to feel, never, never force the stretch. Now this time, bring the arms up overhead. Take a breath at the top. As you exhale, upper body rotation. Look at that right leg. Now, here we are with hands down on the mat. And the next steps, let's think of them as layers. I'll reach my heart toward my knee. I'm looking at my right toe. I'll swing my right arm back. Now I'm going to use it as leverage. So with this loose left hand, you may take it to the outer thigh, the outer calf. If you're reaching for the outer bar of the foot, probably more comfortable to take that right forearm down. And again, I'm reaching my heart toward the knee. I'm not collapsing my head down because that creates unnecessary stress on that cervical spine. Take another breath. As you exhale, maybe you take the fingertips on that right hand and cup at the heel. Think of your heart reaching toward that knee and release. Relax into the stretch and release. Inhale here. Hold for the exhale. Inhale again. As you exhale, hold and breathe. Take the hands down to the mat. Walk the hands back towards your torso. Let's go to the other side. Release the arms up overhead. Take a breath at the top. As you exhale, rotation to the left foot. The hands come down. I'll swing the left arm behind me and I'm using it as leverage. And so my heart reaches toward the knee. That loose right hand, outer thigh, outer calf. If you're reaching for the outer bar of the foot, probably more comfortable to put that left forearm down. Open up the rib cage on the right side. Take a breath here. As you exhale, maybe we take the left fingertips and cup at the heel or not. You decide the intensity of the stretch. What is your body asking for today? And breathe. That's the only thing that's required. Inhale here. Hold for the exhale. Inhale again. And exhale. Let's take the hands down to the mat. Push down. Help with the weight of the torso coming back up. And let's move on. One more adjustment option. Hands behind the hips, look, push. And I think you got about 1/4 inch more. Now, if this is too much and you feel that you're collapsing back, bring the legs in a little bit. I want you to feel comfortable. I want you to feel successful. And so from here, I'll release my arms up overhead. Take a breath at the top. As you exhale, shimmy your rib cage side to side with intention. Imagine you've got two strings tied to the bottom of the rib cage, and I'm just reaching forward. And again, I'm looking ahead. I'm not looking down, because the moment I start to look down, my spine may start to curve, and I want to reach with an elongated spine. And then once you feel that you cannot go any further, pause. Maybe you take your fingertips down to the floor. Maybe you continue to reach forward. There is a point in this stretch where your adductors are going to contract, your quadriceps are going to contract in an effort to pull your body forward. Now, maybe some of you are able to get your heart down to the floor. I'm not quite there yet, but it's something I'm working on. Hold right here. Take a breath. Hold for the exhale. Inhale again. As you exhale, hold and breathe. I'll take the hands down and walk the body up. Breathe, relax. Now we're going to move on. We're going to come into what's called a supine position. Let's help those legs in and shake them out. And then from here, we'll come to all fours. So, I'll make sure I'm still in the frame. Here we are. And so, let's come to all fours with palms in front of your shoulders, knees behind the hips. Let's take it to a huge body stir. So moving the torso around into a slow circular motion. Let's take our time with this generous restorative movement. Now let's think about this. We're moving the torso around toward each one of the four corners. And again, any time if we come into a sequence that you're really enjoying, feel free to pause. And then come back in when you're ready. Another breath. As we exhale, reverse that circular motion. Huge, slow circular motion. And so visiting each one of those four corners. Now when you're ready, I'll press toward the top of the mat and I'll bend my elbows down, skim the heart back. Inhale, lift the spine, drop the head, push forward, and then exhale, glide back, nice and easy. Inhale, lift the spine, drop the head, push forward, and exhale back. Move your torso as if you are a body of water. Nice and easy, take your time with this generous movement. And then when your body is ready, we'll pause in a neutral position. I'll walk the knees wide, big toes touch, and let's sink the hips down toward the heels. And maybe your hips touch your heels, maybe they do not. As long as we're breathing and we're not in discomfort, we're exactly where we're supposed to be. A breath here. As we exhale, move both palms over to the right corner of your mat with your left shoulder joint actively reaching down. Let's just receive that beautiful opening sensation in that shoulder. Inhale, forms through center. As you exhale, hold and breathe, slide the palms over to the other side. And so actively reaching that right shoulder joint down. Inhale, forms through center. As you exhale, hold and breathe. Inch your elbows toward one another. Take your palms together. A breath here. As we exhale, bend at the elbows. Reach the thumbs to the nape of your neck. Walk the elbows forward slightly and then sink your hips back down. Holding right here. Beautiful opening sensation in the triceps. Feel that stretch trickling down between those shoulder blades and the traps and the rhomboids. Take a breath here. As you exhale, hold and breathe. Release your forearms down, inch your elbows apart. Inhale, look toward the top of the mat. As we exhale, let's come into that traditional tabletop. So I'll walk my knees right underneath my hips, wrists right underneath the shoulders, cat and cow. Big inhale, big dip in the back. So let's pull the shoulders back toward the top of the hip. Feel the abdominal wall stretch. Take a breath here. As we exhale around, tuck the chin, tuck the pelvis, throw the belly in, push down into Mother Earth. And big inhale, big dip in the back. And exhale around. So your movements do not have to mirror what mine are doing, but I do encourage slow, purposeful movement. The fountain of youth in a healthy spine. Now if you're ready, let's pause in our neutral position, and I'm going to flip it over to what's called the supine position. And this is where you may use a prop. Again, the only thing that's absolutely required is the breath. Today, I'm going to use a bolster pillow, and I'm going to use my bolster pillow to support the thoracic area of the spine. The head, the neck is going to be supported by the pillow, and then the next segment of the spine, the thoracic area of the spine, is going to be supported, and my lumbar is going to float. My sacral area of the spine is going to ground down. And let's get into position. So from here, I'm going to roll on back with knees bent. And this is where you can take inventory. Would you be more comfortable maybe with a little towel underneath your head to lift the head a little bit more? Or maybe you have a beach towel underneath you. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Now from here, I'll move my arms out to the sides. I'm able to move my arms beyond what's called the frontal plane. Take another breath. As we exhale, I'll slide my legs down the mat and ease in. How does that feel on the knee joint? I'll flex my feet and then relax the feet. That creates a little bit more space in that hip joint area. Let's move into the shoulder joint area. Option 1, release the arms out to the sides and all the way up overhead. Take a breath. As you exhale, release those arms out to the sides and all the way down. How did that serve you? Are you thinking, gosh, Tanya, my shoulders didn't care for that at all? Then you may release your arms up toward the ceiling and then all the way up overhead, or as far as you can get them. Remember, it's a progression. Reach the arms up toward the ceiling and then just reach your arms out to the sides. Let's add the lower body. Let's take a breath. As we exhale, bend at the knees. Walk your inner ankles to touch. Another breath. As you exhale, allow the knees to float open. Supta Konasana. Creating the shape of the soup bowl with the legs, or some call it butterfly pose. So from here, let's honor the shoulder girdle. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Take a breath at the top, palms facing upward. As we exhale, release those arms out to the sides and all the way down. So my arms are moving in that frontal plane. Release the arms out and all the way up overhead. Take a breath at the top. And exhale, release. Now again, you're certainly welcome to move your arms up to the ceiling if that serves you best. Now from here, we'll take it a step further. Release the arms up overhead. Take a breath at the top. As you exhale, release your arms into football goalpost. And so in our football goalpost, the forearms, the back of the hands are facing the floor. This is a lovely passive stretch. The weight of the arms, gravity, does all the work for us. If you'd like to make this stretch more active, we take a breath. As we exhale, pull the arms beyond that frontal plane of the body and feel that generous opening sensation in the muscles of the chest, pectoralis major. I'm actively pulling the arms down, so two things are happening here. Not only am I stretching the muscles of the chest, but I'm also strengthening that powerful muscle group in the upper back area. There's something called upper cross syndrome. What is that? Well, sometimes at the end of the day, maybe we're seated, maybe we're driving, maybe we're just fatigued. And when those shoulders start to round forward, what happens is the muscles of the chest could get tight. This is a great way to open up the chest and strengthen the muscles of the upper back. Moving on. Inhale, arms up overhead. As you exhale, hold and breathe, release the arms out to the sides and all the way down. Relax the arms down. With your palms facing upward, bend at the elbows and just wind the wrist joint around into a huge, slow circular motion. Now in your mind's eye, I'd like you to visualize a beautiful tropical fish and how the fin, the tail move so gracefully. That is the movement I would like you to imitate with the wrist joint, the fingers. Fan the fingers. What is the range of motion that you have today? Take another breath. As you exhale, reverse that circular motion. Take your time, nice and easy. Now little snaps and pops. Perfectly natural as long as we're not in discomfort. Tendons, ligaments snapping over the joints. Now, when you're ready, let's take the hands to the outer thigh area. A breath here. As you exhale, use your hands to close the thighs like the pages of a book. Heel toe your feet about hip distance apart, and let us carefully roll off the prop if you still have the prop underneath you. So I'll roll off to the side and I'll remove my prop. And while I'm up, I'll get ready for my next prop. And that is my yoga strap. If you do not have anything like this, no worries. Maybe use a dish towel, a beach towel. I wouldn't use a rubber elastic band. We want to use the band in an effort to enhance our stretch. So let's go ahead and come on down. And I'll come back to my football goal post posture. And here we are. Shoulders are down, palms facing upward. Let's heel toe the feet toward one another. Take a breath. As we exhale, pick up that leg and cross it over. Take a breath here. As you exhale, float both thighs in the direction of, let's say, to the right side. Keep the left shoulder blade down. Hold right here. Take another breath. As you exhale, hold and breathe, we'll take the outer hand to the top of that thigh and pause right here. So we're enhancing the stretch. Feel, never, never force, honoring that quadratus lumborum area. Inhale here. Hold for the exhale. Did your shoulder blade pop up? Try to keep it down. Inhale again. As we exhale, take that hand away from the thigh. Use the abdominal muscles to draw the thighs back to center. Uncross that leg. Left leg crosses over. Take a breath here. As we exhale, float both thighs in the other direction. Now let's keep that opposite shoulder blade down as best we can. And then we'll take the hand to the outer thigh and use the weight of the arm, gravity, to enhance the stretch. Again, we want to feel, never, never force. Inhale here. As we exhale, hold and breathe, release that arm back up to our football pole post. Use the abs to draw the thighs back to center. Uncross the legs. With your knees bent, Take the feet about the width of your mat. Take a breath. As you exhale, float both thighs over to one side. And let's float the inner knee down toward the mat. Notice the stretch traveling to the front of the hip and trickling down the top of the thigh. Inhale the thighs through center. As we exhale, hold and breathe, release to the other side. We're either moving in a restorative way, the weight of the body gravity provides, or we're exploring the range of motion, actively reaching the knee down. And when you're ready, let us windshield wiper the thighs side to side, preparing the hip flexor for our hip opening sequence. I want to make sure that that fascia that encapsulates the muscle fibers, the organs, the bones, we want to lubricate that fascia. Before we get into the deeper stretches, if we're not moving, that fascia may become dry, brittle, hindering our range of motion. And when you're ready, let's pause in that neutral position. Heel toe your feet about the width of the hips, and then take whatever you have. Maybe it is a yoga strap, maybe a dish towel, and let's hook it the arch of the foot, holding right here. Now we want to refrain from using an elastic band. I want to encourage the circulation in the foot, and we don't want to restrict that blood flow. Now before we move on, take the arms to either side of the knee, slide the opposite leg down. Take a breath here. As you exhale, send length through that leg. Hold and breathe. How is this serving you? Take a breath here. As you exhale, hold and breathe. Encourage that extended leg just a little bit closer toward the shoulder or not. Here's the thing. We want to have a soft knee joint, especially for those of you that have that hypermobility. We do not want to hyperextend the knee joint, so a soft knee. Maybe the hamstrings are really tight and your leg has a big bend in that knee, that's fine. We're working through sending length through that leg. Now we'll take the strap with the hand, one hand. The opposite arm reaches out to the side. We'll take a breath here. As we exhale, hold and breathe, float that leg all the way open to the side. And let's see if we can get that outer bar of that foot down. And yes, the hip may pop up. And then I'll turn the head in the opposite direction. And this is where we're going to pause, right here. Observe that opening sensation in front of that opposite hip. Take a breath here. As you exhale, hold and breathe, press the shoulder blades down toward that mat as you push the heel away from the center line of the body. Another breath. As you exhale, bring the gaze to the ceiling. Now that arm that does not have a hold of the strap, move that arm up overhead so that maybe your bicep is parallel to the ear. Take a breath here. As you exhale, hold and breathe, actively reach the fingertips and the toes in the opposite directions. Continue to push that heel away from the center line of the body and observe. Where are you feeling the stretching sensation most? Could it be in that abductor of that leg that's extended off to the side? Maybe it's along the entire side of the torso that's elongating and lengthening. There's no wrong answer here. Take a breath here. Hold for the exhale. Inhale again. As you exhale, hold and breathe, move that arm that was up overhead straight out to the side. Let's place a generous bend and that leg that was extended out to the side, then send length through that leg. I'll switch the grip. Now the other hand takes the strap. We'll release that arm out to the side, the opposite arm, and then float the leg across the body. And let's see if we can get the inner arch of that foot all the way down. Upper body rotation, lower body rotation. Let's take a breath. As we exhale, hold, and breathe. First, let's draw the belly in. Support the spine. Take another breath. As you exhale, hold, and breathe, push the heel away from the center line of the body as you push both shoulder blades down toward Mother Earth, and observe. To the back of the hand that's not holding the strap, can we get that down? Maybe, maybe not. If we have rotator cuff issues, that floating arm could rest on the torso. Otherwise, we're sending length through that arm. Take a breath here. As you exhale, hold, and breathe, bend that extended leg, roll back to ready position, send the heel toward the ceiling. I'll take both hands, holding onto that strap, and let's spin the elbows in. If we have the elbows out, that could lift the shoulders. We spend a lot of time creating space in that cervical spine. So elbows are in. Take a breath here. As you exhale, hold, and breathe, encourage that leg just a little bit closer to the shoulder. Hold here. Take another breath. As you exhale, let's bend that extended leg, anchor the foot down, go back to that leg that's reaching up toward the ceiling, and see if you can get it a little bit closer toward the shoulder. So we say toward the shoulder, not toward the face, because the rib cage may get in the way. Take a breath here. Hold for your exhale. Inhale again. As you exhale, hold, and breathe, release. Take the strap off that foot. Reclining pigeon is where we're going next. The lower leg anchored on top of the thigh. Give that ankle a spin. Make sure the ankle's in a safe place. Option 1. I'll take my hand into that inner thigh and press gently, opening up the hip flexor. We shouldn't feel any discomfort in the knee. Another breath. As we exhale, maybe that foot on the floor comes up. Maybe this is enough. Perhaps we thread the needle, interlacing behind that thigh, and the elbow pushes into the inner thigh. Take a breath here. Hold for the exhale. Feel that beautiful opening sensation in the hip flexor. Inhale again. As you exhale, hold, and breathe, release. Take that foot down to the mat. We've got the other leg ready. So we'll take the strap to the arch of that foot. Take a breath here. As we exhale, hold, and breathe, send length through the leg. So you'll notice I said send length. I never say straighten the leg. We want a soft knee. We do want to lock out the joint, especially for those that have that hypermobility. Now the leg that's bent, let's send length down the mat and observe how is that feeling for the body. We'll take another breath. As we exhale, hold, and breathe, spin the elbows in. Take another breath as we encourage that leg toward the shoulder, not toward the face. Another breath. As we exhale, take the strap with just one hand. The arm that is parallel to the extended leg. I'll release the other arm out to the side. Here's my counterbalance. Take a breath. As we exhale, float that leg all the way open to the side. And let's see if we can get the outer bar down on the floor. And then turn your head in the opposite direction. Hold and breathe. How is that serving you today? Take a breath here. Hold for the exhale. Push that heel away from the body. Another breath. As we exhale, bring the gaze to the ceiling. The arm that was extended, the arm that's not holding onto the strap, reach the arm up overhead. Now observe. What side of the body are you feeling the stretching sensation most? Take a breath here. Hold for the exhale. Continue to push that heel away from the center line of the body as you reach fingertips, toes in the opposite directions. A breath here. As you exhale, hold and breathe, release. Let's reach that arm out to the side. A generous bend in the knee of that extended leg. Roll through that glute, send leg. Through that leg, switch the grip. So now I'm reaching across the body, reaching for that strap. The other arm releases out to the side. Take a breath. As you exhale, float that leg across the body. And let's try to get that inner arch of that foot all the way down. And then we'll turn the head away from that extended leg. And let's see what the body will give us today. Take a breath here. As you exhale, hold and breathe, draw the belly in to support that upper body rotation, supporting the spine. Take another breath. As you exhale, hold and breathe, let's reach both shoulder blades down toward that floor. Inhale here. As we exhale, hold and breathe, let's place a generous bend and an extended leg, and then we'll roll back to ready position. Send length through that leg. Right hand, left hand gets a hold of the strap. Spin the elbows in. Take a breath. As we exhale, encourage that leg toward the shoulder just a little bit more. And then take a breath. As you exhale, bend that leg that was down on the mat. We'll anchor the foot down as we encourage the leg that's extended toward the shoulder. Hold and breathe. Take a moment. Inhale here. Hold for the exhale. Inhale here. As we exhale, hold and breathe, release. Reclining pigeon is where we're going next. So we want to make sure that the ankle can freely float off the thigh and then hold the foot flexed. I'll take my hand into that inner thigh and gently push that thigh away from the face. The progression is to lift the foot up off the mat. My ankle is still flexed. Maybe we thread the needle, interlacing behind that thigh. Hold and breathe. Take inventory. How is this posture serving you today? Inhale here. Hold for the exhale. Inhale again. As you exhale, hold and breathe, release. Option 1 is to hang on behind the thighs with your knees parted and wind your ankles around. Option 2 is to interlace behind the thighs and wind your ankles around. Nice and easy, take your time with this. Generous, restorative movement. Let's make the circumference of this circular motion as large as you can. Stretch out the muscles that support the movement of the toes, that support the arch of the foot, that cradle the heel. This is lovely medicine for the feet. We give the feet quite a pounding. Let's honor those feet. And when you're ready, reverse that circular motion, nice and easy, a lovely restorative movement. And then when you're ready, just relax your feet and let's gently rock the torso ever so slightly side to side. So the powerful muscle group that supports the movement of the spine. We collectively refer to that muscle group as the erector spinae. The erector spinae works so hard for us all day long. Let's give ourselves a lovely back massage using the weight of the body and gravity to provide for that. Now when you're ready, let's pause for a neutral position. Let's think about this. Do we have any issues going on with the back? Maybe a pulled muscle, maybe an issue with the vertebrae. If the answer was yes, then we would roll off to the side and gently come up, nice and easy. If the answer was no, you may use momentum if that serves you well. Let's take a breath here. As we exhale, hold, and breathe, I'll flex my feet and I'll rock and roll the length of the mat 3 times. Here's 3, 2, and last one, or 4, 5, 6, however many it takes for you to get there. Hold here, let's allow that blood to redistribute. I'll fix my ponytail while we're here. And then when we come up, I've got one more thing for us to stretch. I'll swing my legs behind me, and let's come right back to that tabletop position. From here, let's curl the toes under. Take a breath. As you exhale, hold and breathe. Just stretch out the toes. We're not coming all the way up just yet. Holding here. Now, if this doesn't serve you well, you may take it to the fist, making sure that the wrist and the hand would be in alignment. And let's put those knees back down. Let's honor the shoulders just a little bit more. I'll walk the knees back. I'll take the palms toward the top of the mat and slowly lower the hips down. Once the hips are down, I'll slide my palms so that my elbows are perpendicular to my shoulders, holding right here. Take a breath. As we exhale, peel the heart up off the mat. Hold right here, get a good stretch in your lower back, or rather a nice flexion. Take another breath. As you exhale, hold and breathe. Let's lift just a little bit higher, holding right here. Inhale here as you exhale. Now, let's lower down, and I'll reach my arm out to the side. I'll look to the opposite hand and rest my head down. The arm that's still on the mat, my palm will come down, my elbow comes up. Now I'm going to try to articulate this as best as I can, but if you're not quite sure, take a peek, hit the pause button, come into position, and then hit play. Take another breath. As you exhale, I'm going to push down into that mat so that my hip comes up. Now that arm that's elongated, really listen to that shoulder joint area. Take a breath here. As we exhale, hold, and breathe, progression is to reach that hip perpendicular to the ceiling. If this is enough, stay here. Maybe you bend the top knee and reach the toe behind that extended leg. Hold here. Inhale here. Hold for the exhale. Inhale again. As you exhale, hold, and breathe. Let's unravel slowly. Send length through that bent leg, and let's slowly release the hip all the way back down. The other side. So I'll take that arm that was in the bent position. I'll send length, and I've drawn the other arm in. The palm is just below my collarbone. Take a breath here. As you exhale, slowly push down into that mat. Observe how my hip pops up. Now let's really listen to that shoulder that's on the mat. Is this enough of a stretch for the anterior deltoids, muscles in front of the shoulders? Take a breath here. As you exhale, bend that top knee and see if you can get the toes behind that extended leg. Inhale here. Hold for the exhale. Inhale again. And exhale, release. Let's send length through that bent leg and slowly anchor the hip back down. I'll take both forearms back down to the mat. Now, if any of these stretches were too much, that's okay. Hit the pause button, maybe fast forward through that. Take what serves you best. Take a breath here. As we exhale, take the palms below the level of the collarbone. Take a breath. As we exhale, peel the heart up off that mat. Let's pause in that tabletop position once again. Big inhale, big dip in the back. Exhale, round, tuck the chin, tuck the pelvis, draw the belly in. And big inhale, big dip in the back. And exhale. Let's talk about options here. We're going to stretch the area of the calf, the gastrocnemius soleus. Option 1 from tabletop is to curl my toes under and push the heel away. So I've got one leg extended. And then release. I'll bring that knee back down and I'll just send length through the other leg. Nice and easy. So getting a little stretch here, a generous stretch. The other option is to take both knees down. Take a breath. As we exhale, curl the toes under, lift the knees up off the mat, and reach your heart toward the toes. I'm adjusting my feet to about shoulder distance here, reaching the heart toward the toes, the crown of the head reaches down. Option 2, increase the intensity ever so gently. I'll take all the body weight to one foot. I'll take the other foot and cup around that calf area. Then the supporting leg, mini micro bend. Gastrocnemius and soleus, deeper into that area of the calf. Inhale, exhale, and switch. That foot takes the mat. The other foot comes around the back of that calf, and then mini micro bend in that supporting leg. And release. Let's take both feet down to the mat, reaching the heart toward the toes, the crown of the head down. Let's inhale and toward the top of the mat. As we exhale, hold and breathe, part the feet the width of the mat. And let's drag the fingers toward the center line of the body. Hold right here in what's called ragdoll. And then I'll take my hands and cupping at the elbows, I'm swaying my body, not only side to side, but in a figure 8 formation. And so this is a lovely release with the hamstring muscles, a great way to create space between the vertebrae and the spine. And when we move the shoulders into a figure 8 formation, that allows for a release internal, external obliques, a whole lot of medicine happening here. Now when you're ready, release the hands down toward Mother Earth, and let's heel toe the feet to a place that makes sense for your anatomy. Forward fold. Do the fingertips dangle. That's okay. Maybe your palms are flat on that mat. I like to take my hands behind my calves, reaching my heart toward the knees, the crown of the head down. And please allow me to guide you up slowly in 8. Squeeze the glutes. 7, contract your thighs. 6, draw the belly in. 5, your head comes up. Last 4, 3, 2, last one. I'll face you for some shoulder rolls. Nice and easy. Now I've got my feet in a comfortable position here, a nice stable stance. And just feel so great about what you've just done. And if you enjoyed the content of this video, please like and subscribe and feel free to share. Let's go ahead. Reaching down toward Mother Earth, inhale the arms up overhead. Take a breath at the top. As you exhale, give yourself a pat on the back for a job well done. And then release. Let's reach the arms back down. This time, step the feet into a place that makes sense for your anatomy. Inhale at the top. As you exhale, draw all that goodness into your heart. If you've got to this point, thank you so very much for staying with me and doing the entire stretch. Again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining me. Have a lovely rest of your day. My name is Tanya. Until our paths cross again, be well.